The first notification came as I was brushing my teeth. My phone buzzed, and I glanced at the screen out of habit. It was a location update from Lauren's car. New destination set. Riverview Hotel, room 312. I froze, the toothbrush dangling from my mouth. Lauren had always synced her car's GPS to my phone for convenience. Directions to restaurants, reminders about oil changes. But this wasn't a work address. It wasn't even on her usual route home. I rinsed my mouth, heart pounding. She had left the house 2 hours ago, claiming she had another late-night meeting at the office. Yet here was her car, parked at a hotel across town. My first thought was to call her, demand an explanation. But then I stopped myself. If I called now, she'd have time to make up another excuse, another perfectly polished lie. Instead, I grabbed my keys. The drive to Riverview Hotel felt surreal. My mind raced with scenarios, each one worse than the last. I wanted to believe it was a mistake, a coincidence. But the sick feeling in my stomach told me otherwise. I parked across the street, scanning the lot. Lauren's car was there, unmistakable with its small dent on the bumper. The GPS notification hadn't been wrong. I stepped inside the lobby, trying to appear calm as I approached the front desk. "Hi," I said, flashing a polite smile. "I'm supposed to meet someone in room 312, but I left my phone upstairs earlier. Can you remind me of the room name to confirm?" The receptionist hesitated but eventually nodded. "That's registered to a Lauren Blake." My stomach dropped. I rode the elevator in silence, every floor bringing me closer to whatever was waiting on the other side of that door. When I reached room 312, I paused. Muffled voices came from inside, hers and a man's, low and intimate. My hand shook as I knocked. The voices stopped abruptly. Footsteps approached, and then the door opened slightly, the chain still latched. A man peeked through the gap, his face confused. "Who are you?" he asked. I didn't answer. Instead, I shoved the door hard enough to snap the chain. And there she was, standing in a bathrobe, her face pale as she stared at me in shock. "Liam," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Don't Liam me," I snapped, turning to the man. "And you, who the hell are you?" The man stumbled back as the door flew open, his expression shifting from confusion to panic. He was shirtless, his hair damp, and the evidence of what had been going on in that room was undeniable. "Liam, I can explain," Lauren stammered, clutching the bathrobe tighter around herself. "Explain?" I said, my voice sharp enough to cut glass. "Go ahead, Lauren. Explain why you're in a hotel room with this guy while I'm at home thinking you're working late." The man finally found his voice. "Look, man, I didn't know she was. Shut up," I snapped, pointing a finger at him. "I'm not talking to you." He raised his hands defensively, muttering something about staying out of it, before slipping into the bathroom like the coward he was. I turned my attention back to Lauren, who was now crying, tears streaming down her face. "It wasn't supposed to happen like this," she said, her voice trembling. "Oh, so there was a plan." I shot back. "What exactly were you planning, Lauren? To lie to me forever? To keep sneaking around behind my back?" She shook her head, her sobs growing louder. "It's not like that, Liam. I swear, it's not serious." I laughed bitterly, gesturing to the room. "Not serious? You're in a hotel, half-dressed, with another man. How much more serious could it get?" Her tears did nothing to calm me. The betrayal burned too deeply, and every moment I stood there felt like another knife twisting in my chest. "Do you even realize what you've done?" I demanded. "I trusted you, Lauren. I believed every excuse, every late-night meeting, every lie. And this? This is how you repay me." She collapsed onto the edge of the bed, burying her face in her hands. I never meant to hurt you, she sobbed. Don't give me that, I said, my voice cold. You didn't care about hurting me, Lauren. You cared about getting caught. The man finally emerged from the bathroom, fully dressed now, but still looking uncomfortable. Hey, maybe I should go, he said, avoiding my gaze. You think? I snapped. Get the hell out of here. He grabbed his jacket and slipped past me, muttering a quick apology before disappearing down the hall. The silence he left behind was deafening. Lauren sat frozen on the bed, her face red and tear-streaked. I didn't want you to find out this way, she whispered. How long? I asked, my voice low. She hesitated, then said softly, A few months. I laughed bitterly, running a hand through my hair. A few months. And I'm supposed to believe that this is the first time you've done something like this? She didn't answer. Her silence told me everything I needed to know. Lauren's silence hung heavy in the air, the weight of her guilt filling the room. I stood there, staring at her, trying to reconcile the woman I thought I knew with the one sitting before me, caught in her lies. Pack your things, I said finally, my voice cold and steady. Her head shot up, her eyes wide. What? You heard me, I said, crossing my arms. When you get home, pack your things and leave. You're not staying another night under my roof. Liam, please, she said, standing and reaching for me. Don't do this. We can fix this. I can fix this. I stepped back, avoiding her touch. Fix it? I repeated bitterly. You've been lying to me for months, sneaking around with another man, and spending God knows how many nights in hotel rooms like this. You think an apology is going to fix that? She broke down, her sobs shaking her frame. I made a mistake, she cried. I love you, Liam. I don't want to lose you. You should have thought about that before, I said firmly. Because it's too late now. I left the hotel without another word, my mind racing as I drove home. I'd spent years building a life with Lauren, sharing dreams, making plans, and now it all felt like a cruel joke. When I got home, I grabbed a box from the closet and began packing her things. Every item I touched felt like a reminder of her betrayal. The framed photos of us on vacations, the jacket I'd bought her last Christmas, the necklace she'd once called her favorite. By the time she came home, her things were already waiting by the door. Liam, please, she begged, standing in the doorway. Can we talk? No, I said flatly. There's nothing left to say. Take your things and go. Where am I supposed to go? She asked, tears streaming down her face. Maybe you should ask the guy from the hotel, I said, my voice dripping with sarcasm. She hesitated, her lips trembling as if she wanted to say more. But eventually, she picked up the box and walked out, her sobs echoing down the hallway. As the door closed behind her, I felt a strange mix of relief and sadness. The woman I had loved was gone, not just from my apartment, but from the version of her I thought I knew. The next few weeks were a blur. Friends and family reached out, offering support as I navigated the mess Lauren had left behind. I focused on rebuilding my life, pouring my energy into work and reconnecting with people I'd neglected during our relationship. Lauren tried to contact me a few times, text messages, emails, even showing up outside my building once. But I ignored her every time. I wasn't going to let her drag me back into the chaos she created. One evening, as I was scrolling through social media, I stumbled across a photo. Lauren, sitting at an outdoor cafe, smiling faintly at the camera. The caption read, "Starting over isn't easy, but it's worth it." I stared at the photo for a moment, then closed the app. I wasn't angry anymore. In fact, I wasn't anything. For the first time in months, I felt free. And I was ready to move on.